everyone. Welcome to CeriseFairfax.com. I am in the lovely Dominican, and who do we have in front of us? Right here, the lovely educated traveler, Mr. T. So, as you guys know, I went down the rabbit hole of videos, and I have found amazing people. This is one of the most amazing people that I found. This is the first person that I found ever about the Dominican on YouTube. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Mr. T.
Hi everyone. Yeah, it's been a wonderful little experience being down here, but also meeting you. Thanks for
Thank you.
Cerise. She's been one of the most cheerful and powerful characters I've met in a long time, so you're definitely watching the right channel here, I can tell. She's given me a lot of compliments on my channel, which I highly appreciate. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I started this channel, Educated Traveler, about 2 years ago. Dominican Republic is not like any other country I've visited before. There's a lot of lovely things. Obviously we know the weather's great most of the year. There's beautiful beaches, a lot of beautiful people, great food, music. They love partying, so there's all these good things. But there's also some pitfalls, and I came here, and I think as Westerners anyway, we like to put our trust in people and be vulnerable. And a lot of the scammers that come here, especially to the touristic areas, they have learned to take advantage of that. So like most other people, I fell in some of the traps, and that's when the dice get stripped out of paradise, and you start thinking, hey, am I in the right place? Do I really like this kind of environment, etc. But I hung in there, and over time you learn who can be trusted, who can't be trusted, how to test people, how to handle people. So there's a lot of things about a country like Dominican Republic that you need to learn, and it's literally like gazelle being born in the African savannah. You got to learn to run straight away if there's nobody to teach you how to do it safely. So I decided, why not start a channel teaching people how to keep the dice in paradise. And I've had Dominicans give me a hard time sometimes, some of the skeptical ones saying, oh, you're trying to scare all our tourists off, etc. And I said, no, you don't understand. I just don't like seeing foreigners, sorry, I'm pressing the microphone here.
That's okay.
I just don't like seeing foreigners being scammed or ripped off, being abused, because out of all the countries they chose for vacation or to move to, they chose your country. So their hard-earned money should stay in their pockets, and it should be voluntary association, you know, when it comes to spending that money, who they want to invest to spend that money with. So I come from a country where we have a proverb, you can share a sheep again and again and again, but you can only rip the skin off it once. And that's what some of them have to learn. Yeah? So I don't really care about the critique I get from them, or some of the worst, even death threats through my channel, but that's only like a small percentage. I care about the safety, especially of other foreigners coming here, because it is an island. They rely a lot on tourism and investment, and the investors should be safe, respected and appreciated, and that's going to travel gradually out to others who then will also feel safe to come here and invest. And I've been through different periods where I've seen a lot of people wanting to leave, and I've tried to do my bit for the years I've been either living here or coming here to make it a better place, and I think not because of me only, but because of a lot of people, it is getting better. A lot of the scammers or scamsters that we used to see here have disappeared from the area, and you got to break eggs to make omelets. So there's been a lot of news that's gone out about certain scams that happened, and it became too uncomfortable for some of them to hang around here. So I'm seeing, well, now I'm starting to look at it positively. Sosua, especially, or Cabaretta, especially Sosua, is improving a lot, and I see more people coming in. The residential communities are growing. There's more schools popping up, and a few things are being cleaned up. The biggest one is probably the corruption from the authorities. And I've just recently seen a big change of the police. It's not like they educate them, they just replace them or circulate them. Because if they hang around too much in one area for too long, then they get too many connections with drug dealers, with bad people. So the fact that they are circulating the police, I think, is a healthy thing. But there's still a lot of police that will do silly things that they shouldn't. But anyway, it is a safe place. It is a safe place if you stay in the public eye, and if you have the right network and connections. Watch my videos, please, and that should stop you falling in a lot of the potential traps.
You know what, one thing I really did appreciate about one of your videos where you were saying what are some of the dangers that people have to watch about, like in Dominican. Because as a solo traveler coming here and a woman, I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I have to watch out for? And you were talking about, just be careful, don't leave your stuff down somewhere, don't lay it down. You also had a guy from Canada who was coming here all the time, and then he decided to go to Mexico because he left his bag on the beach, which I'm not faulting him at all, but I'm just like, don't lose your mind when you come to a Caribbean country. It's still just like how it is in Toronto, Canada. A lot of my followers who are watching this, if they're going to leave their purse on their chair in a strange country, I would have to shake my head because they wouldn't do it in Toronto. Don't do anything different. And that's one thing that you did say on your videos where you're
one saying down here is, I'll just let the motorbike go past. Very noisy country, by the way. Everything has legs, so we are very trusting. We'll leave a bag or a purse or wallet on a table or a cell phone. You just don't do that. There's a few little things we just got to adjust to. You have two types of people down here, whether it's foreigners or Dominicans or Haitians. It's haves and have-nots. And the have-nots want what the haves have. And even the wealthy Dominicans are very cautious about who they let near their stuff, what circle of friends they have, etc. Because there's a lot of people, because of the corruption in this country, there's a big gap between the wealthy and the poor. There's not much of a middle class, so there's a large majority of people who will do what we're not allowed to do or used to in Western countries, which is begging, hustling. Well, we do see it. I shouldn't say it doesn't exist, but there's a lot of begging, hustling, little white lies, stories. My cat needs new braces. My
birthday is today.
You know, whatever the excuse some of them come up with to try to make you feel sorry for them, to part with money. And a lot of foreigners have to learn to reset their boundaries, me included. I had to learn that. Now I'm sharing these techniques through my videos, especially if you watch the 150 plus scams to avoid when you come to Dominican Republic.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, how to handle the people without being rude.
And another favorite.
You know, if I'm a man, so we get approached a lot by ladies down here. So if the ladies come up and they want to sit down, you got to make it clear up front. Okay, I will shout you a drink, no problem, but I'm not paying for your time. If you don't say that, you can sit there and have the best conversation. You may even get a kiss near the ear, and at the end, suddenly she wants 2,000 pesos for her time. and that's a scam. It's hustling, you know.
2,000 pesos is closely $40.
Yeah. So whether it's 2,000 or 3,000 pesos they're trying to squeeze you for, these are the kind of things that can come at you all the time. And a lot of foreigners, because they didn't know how to handle these situations, have flown out. They say prevention's better than cure. So if you know how to wave your finger and say no and look away straight away, that sends a clear signal. No gracias. And then look away. If you look at them for too long, they take it as he's a sucker or he's interested, you know, especially with the girls. You know? And if somebody comes up, hola papi, una bebida para mí, that means a drink for me, and you don't even know her name or his name if you're a lady being approached by Sanky Panky or whatever. You don't even know their name. You can say, look, you look like a sweet person. I tell you what, you buy the first drink, I'll get the second one. How does that sound? So you got to learn these little techniques. You weren't rude, but you kind of threw the hot potato back in their hands, saying, you get the first one, I'll buy you the second one since I don't know you. Sounds good? And then a lot of them do like this. That means you tight ass, and then they walk away, and that's it. You weren't rude, they walked away, and life carries on sweet for you.
Awesome. And now, in terms of the whole entire beach area and stuff like that, what is the most dangerous time? Like, they can come down during the day, everything's great, everything's fine. I'm going to move over a little bit because the sun's coming in. Right. Everything's great and everything's fine. But, like, what really goes on in the beach?
Well, I'll give the same advice as I've said in my videos, which is whenever you are in the public eye, you're safe in this country, probably safer than a holy cow in India. The moment you start adventuring, even in the beach, into dark areas. There was a Russian guy I just spoke to a couple of weeks ago. He was sitting just 100 meters from where we're sitting right now, 9 o'clock in the evening, in the park over here, alone. And he was texting his friend. And then suddenly there's a knife to his neck. And the guy said, give me your phone, give me your money. He took everything, he jumped on a motorbike, gone. You see, he went out of the public eye. There's a huge gap between that safe and unsafe. Safe down here. Just stay in the public eye. And like Cerise, she has a friend of mine with her.
Right here, Alberto.
Which she saw in one of my videos where I put his WhatsApp in. She contacted him. So he's a tour guide. That's in my latest video, Prices of Everything Sosua Cabaretto. He appears as the motor concho and tour guide. But when you are with a Dominican, no other Dominican is going to mess with you. But you got to make sure the Dominican you're with is somebody you can trust, who wouldn't violate you in any form of way. And that's what I'm trying to help as well. I would only put people in the videos that I would utilize their services myself or hang around with. And like in any other country, hang around dogs, you get fleas. But if you hang around good people, they will keep you safe. And then gradually you build a network, you meet their friends, and your network grows, and then suddenly you have all these people around you who like you, who want to protect you, and I think that's a big part also of being safe down here. 100%.
And the fact that I was able to look at your videos and find Alberto and stuff, your videos are very informative, but you interview the most top quality people. And even though there is a negative connotation to any crime, really, you show the beauty in the negative. It's like you show the diamond in the rough. Everyone knows. You're welcome. It's like everyone knows that the Dominican is, ooh, right? I'm a Cuba girl, like I said. Go to Cuba, and it's safe because the security is so tight in Cuba. They don't even dare rob or anything. They're terrified of the government. Communism. Here, they're not that afraid. However, they are also very respectful to a certain extent. Like there's not that element of fear. And so you gave me, as a woman, again, solo coming here, you gave me the knowledge what to do, what not to do.
Well, that's been my belief all the way along, that people would rather know the pitfalls than to travel in uncertainty to a place.
Yes.
And it's like if I was to travel tomorrow to, say, Mexico, then you hear about cartels and all that.
Right.
And I mean, you may go to Tulum in Mexico, and it's totally safe. And you may go 1,000 kilometers away in Mexico, and maybe there it's not safe. Acapulco, So, and if you're from any of those places, I'm sorry, but there has been a lot of troubles in Acapulco, and I've heard a lot of safe and good things about Tulum. So, I mean, knowledge, just knowing where other foreigners feel safe or travelers, that goes a long way. And anyway, I can only mention again, this country, I feel safer than probably anywhere on the planet now.
Nice.
Because I have a good network of people here. Nobody harasses each other in public. It's like this society's expected respect. If you're in the public eye, you do not provoke anybody. There's no senseless assaults like we see in Europe and US and Canada and other countries. There's not so many crazy people, only when they drive, but that's their release, I think. Of all their frustrations come out when they drive, then they turn into little Speedy Gonzaleses everywhere. But apart from that, I love that about Dominicans, that if they're angry with you, they just don't look at you. They may not smile at you or whatever. I'm not saying I get a lot of it, but sometimes. There's none of that senseless, let's go, and even scratching vehicles and things that I've seen in many other countries I've either lived or been to. What's the terminology for it? When you destroy other people's property.
Sabotage? No.
Sabotage. Yeah, I mean, you don't see that here.
Right.
But if they do something harsh, I mean, then it's really bad, and it's usually jealousy related or hate related, because there's some serious stuff going down. And then, I mean, this is a country. If you think you're a tough guy, don't try to start a fight. You will lose, because the sheer number of people, they don't run away from this is the country of cockfighting. They don't run away from trouble. They gravitate towards it to get it resolved.
Right.
Because they have this kind of program thing in them that everything should be peaceful, calm, and fair, and all that. In the way they look at fairness, anyway.
Right.
Under Dominican rule law and the society's expectations, but. I saw a situation in Puerto Plata. They came at a guy with a 4x2 plank of wood, and there was, he got dealt with in a harsh way, and then the police turned up. They probably saved his skin, because if somebody has violated somebody, whether it's rape, murder, or whatever, they deal with it very harshly. There's no saving you if the police doesn't get in between or something, So you want to come down here, be humble, be respectful, be nice. I mean, they put up with a lot. They are actually very tolerant, but if you cross the line too much and you get violent or start throwing a rock into a window or anything, they would come at you.
Right. So no Canadians from upwoods coming down here with bad attitudes.
And you don't want to insult the police either. They're not trained when to use their firearm correctly. So it's ready, fire, aim. And I've seen that too. But where they pull the gun out and shoot in the air to calm the crowd, or
Right.
There's been a few things, but it's calmed down a lot. When I first visited this country, it was a lot wilder, but I think they're slowly getting everything calmed down here, so that's good.
Right. And it's only because of your videos that I'm actually, only because of your videos. Like everyone who's going to be watching this video, my followers, my friends, my family, everyone knows that this was a big trip for me. And even just booking the resort and coming alone was a big trip for me. But for me to go outside of the comfort zone of the resort and come to the Dominican, I made it a whole secret to everyone. I'm like, you're going to have to guess where I'm going. It's not Cuba, but I'm going alone, and it is the Caribbean. And everyone was like, be careful. Just be careful, Cerise. You're so friendly. You're so nice. And you get...
Can I comment just on the resort thing?
Yeah.
That was another...
I'm just going to get over in the sun again here.
The motivation also to get some knowledge out to foreigners here is when you go to a travel agency in some countries, it's very corrupt, the whole thing. I remember I was in Europe at the time, and the travel agent was warning me, don't go to Dominican Republic. I once was down there, I lived in a resort for 6 months, I hardly ever dared to go outside the resort, blah blah blah, and I thought, this is just too heavy. I said, I'll think about it, and I went to another travel agency, and there everything, no, it's not like that, it's very safe if you just stay in public and all that. So I booked, came down here, and then I found out the reality of it. But the reason why they're pitching that is for money. They work together with the resorts, and in the resorts you get these scammers pitching that, oh, it's so dangerous outside the resort. Why do they do that? They want you to go on their tours. So the only adventure you get is if you pay and plug into their system, their network, which of course is very pricey. And I remember they were objecting to me jumping outside that little matrix and taking a taxi to Sosua and Cabaretta, and I came across a place, let me give him a shout out, Joseph from Fun Tours in Cabaretta, who's religiously been standing there giving flyers out for years, and I looked at his flyer and it's like all the tours were either half price or at least only 2/3 of the price they were selling them for in the resorts. So I booked and went to Paradise Island and had a great experience, and suddenly I got the real price. But the resorts, they're a great place to stay, and if you don't like cooking, just the convenience of joining their buffet and all that. But take your own transportation, get some details from my videos, escape from that to experience the real Dominican Republic, and also the real expats who live here. You can go pub crawling down here and gain so much advice from other expats, and everybody's got their own experiences. I don't dabble in a lot of things other expats dabble in. Some play squash and tennis, I don't. Some do kite surfing, I don't.
But you do karaoke.
Oh yes. Please tune in.
I love karaoke. I'm a karaoke
I'm a singer. I used to be in bands and all that. So
and
anyway,
he's a good singer, everyone. He's an awesome singer. Watch his videos.
My point is we all get into different things, so you can harvest a wealth of information just by networking with other people in different restaurants and bars, and even during your first trip, even if it is only a 1-week trip, you're going to have a lot of knowledge, and you're going to have 100 times more confidence to come down here the second time onwards.
Okay, so I have a question. People who have been here before and love it, and they want to do what you have done, come and live in the sun, reasonable rent if they don't want to buy. I heard one dude telling me today that it costs $200 to $600. It's a little loud, guys.
I think we should just let the walking disco. We have a guy walking with a ghetto blaster here.
There we go.
So anyway, you were asking about rents.
So I was saying, so anyone that wants to come here who's already been here, because this was my first time coming, is most of my followers and listeners are going to be like, okay, good, I can go there alone and solo, like as a woman. But what about the the ones who have been here and they already love it, you can actually help them move here.
I run a relocation advisory service. Thank you for letting me bring this up.
Yeah.
So info@educatedtraveler.info. That's the email address. And if you're interested, my minimum is 2 hours, and if you send me an email, I'll give you the current rates at the time. Okay, because if I get too many inquiries, I may put the price
That's right. Competition is good for business.
For now, very affordable, and your goals, your plans is going to be different than Jack, Sue, Jill, and Fred's plans. So during those 2 hours, I would ask you a lot of questions. What are you trying to achieve? Because there's so many different lifestyles down here that I experience people living out. And if you've been an airline pilot for 30 years and you've retired and you got a good pension or a lot of money behind you, you're going to have a different lifestyle than maybe the surfer guy or girl who's 22 who wants to come down here and live on a shoestring budget but race across the waves every day, you know. So whatever your goals are, I'll take that on board and give you advice which pitfalls to avoid. Some want to start a business down here, and there's lots of different types of businesses you could start, and the structure of those, some will get you in deep trouble, others will keep you safe from a lot of hustlers and beggars and pretend government people, because they turn up and pretend to be from authorities, and it's somebody who's put a fake badge on, and so there's a lot of advice I can give you to save you potentially thousands of dollars in losses, and I don't charge too much per hour, so if you need my service, let me know. And you know, to be forewarned is to be forearmed.
To be forewarned is to be forearmed.
Yeah, to be forewarned is to be forearmed. You know, prevention's better than cure. So you come down here to enjoy paradise, don't have the dice stripped out of paradise. You know, so.
And you actually put the dice into paradise for me, into whatever, but you put the dice into it for me because your videos are awesome. Guys, please visit the Educated Traveler YouTube channel. Do you have any other information you want to give them?
If you want to email me, info@educatedtraveler.info, Mr. T, please check it out. If you like it, tick like, subscribe, refer, all that good stuff.
Yes. And guys, honestly, you know I'm coming down here alone. You know I'm coming down here solo. You know I have talked a lot about the research that I've done before I've come, and this is the first video that I've ever seen down the rabbit hole of looking in the Dominican, and I'm so happy. I could not be more thrilled and feel more blessed and all that stuff. Guys, please contact them.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for having me. Okay, any last things you want to say? Like, where's the best karaoke spot? Guys, he can sing. He's a music guy. Where are the karaoke spots?
Plan B. That's a good spot, but there's several that run karaoke's. Cabaretta, you have Boy on a Monday night. There's a lot of foreigners that come into that as well as Dominicans. You get that here too. Good place to meet people, and we need both clappers and singers.
Yes, that's right.
So don't shy away just because you don't necessarily want to sing.
Yeah, I'm both.
Come on down, try it out, and I don't remember too many people who watch my videos who didn't have a great vacation yet, and I would love to meet you on the street or on the beach one day.
And you will meet him, guys, because I was like just riding along the motor concho with, I didn't even know the word motor concho until I watched your video. I'm like, what's a motor concho?
That's a guy usually that drives a motorbike like a taxi service. And usually current rate is about 50 pesos anywhere inside Sosua.
But 50 pesos is like $1.
Just a over US dollar, yeah.
Yeah, just a little over US dollar. And, you know, like for a drive, let me just put the camera back over here on Alberto. And I have some videos on Alberto already, and you guys can check it out on YouTube and also on my website. And truly, it is $1. And the reason why I even messaged Alberto is because you said no one should rip anyone off. Like, here are the real prices. What is the name of your last video?
Prices of everything Sosua Cabaretted. And I'm launching one soon. I'm just editing on it right now, which is likes and dislikes that foreigners and Dominicans have for each other. And then I also asked them, the last question is, what's the craziest thing they've seen a Dominican do or a foreigner do? So you're going to hear some funny things there. So that's to deepen the understanding of foreigners to the Dominicans and Dominicans to the foreigners, cultures, and that we're not really that different.
That's true.
And how to get on.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for watching.
Yes. And can you please shout out your information again?
Educated Traveller. Just go to YouTube, type that in, and when you see the logo with the little aeroplane, it says Educated Traveller, click on that, you get into the channel, and there you see all the videos.
And there's a lot of them. All of them are informative. Guys, check it out. Please do.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, Mr. T.
You're welcome.